It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Liteforex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. 3rd of October 2019, 9 AM CET, London is open. Let's start with quick risk warning, and then we are going to prepare ourselves for PMI in Europe and PMI in UK. It's Europe as well. But because of this Brexit mess, who knows what's going to happen. Anyway, joking. Guys, please bear in mind, trading effects on margin trading crypto carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for all investors who can sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment. So please do not invest the money you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Okay, guys. Let's start with this dollar Swiss franc. What happened yesterday? I survived by less than pip, if you remember. Then we had this type of the pullback, and because we had this possible demand from the intraday chart already yesterday, so you can easily check that, I took partial profit, right? If you remember, I had two small positions. I took the partial profit here, but then I didn't move the stop for the remaining half, and I've been watching carefully and trying to figure it out what might happen next. So based on this rejection yesterday, and based on the daily chart, this upper shadow and close below, my way of thinking was that maybe we are going to make, after the pullback, we are going to make this type of the move in size to just retest post ISM supply, and we will go lower, right? So I reopen it, the half I've closed on the pullback, I reopen it, but I place my stop 1 pip higher than yesterday, or 1.5 pip higher than yesterday. So what happened currently, for you to have a full update, right? So I closed half on the pullback yesterday. On that rally this morning, I reopened it. The original half from yesterday been stopped out earlier today, right before our meeting, and the second one survived because I placed the stop a bit higher. But looks like with this strong close, it's going to be the challenge. Yeah, Swiss franc is weak. It might be still because of those yesterday Swiss National Bank members' comments. It might be weak simply because of the interest rate decision, but that's how it was from intraday perspective. I've been looking for selling opportunity. So of course, if I'm going to be stop out here, that's gonna be from the total trade since yesterday. It's gonna be negative as of now, taking into the consideration one positive, one negative. It's break even, let's say, but this half which is here, we will see what's going to happen. Of course, we are going to focus on euro at the very beginning, and there is a possibility we are going to trade inverted head and shoulder over here. We discussed everything for the last 2 days about what might happen, and as long as we are above Tuesday low, right, there is a chance we will see at least attempt to test. The market is going to try to test 110, maybe a little bit higher. So I think that currently, what is going on currently, but we have to be very careful because that's what happened yesterday, right? And I've been trading for 12 pips. I've been trading this long setup. There was a break above this latest weakness over here, and I've been trading from this weekly open, and I've been trading towards these levels. That was 12 or 14 pips over here. And right now, we are testing Monday high, weekly open after the breakout, right? So some kind of the demand, there is a possibility we are going to see some kind of the demand here. Now, because of the pullbacks, let me make a different color. For ya. Because of this type of the pullback, I think we might see some spike a little bit lower and we might test this weakness. So it's in terms of the size of the pullback, that could make perfect sense. So yeah, euro dollar, I'm watching a little bit lower between 0935 0930, and I'm gonna to try to have my stop below 18, below 17. We will see what's going to happen on the euro dollar. MHB is saying that gold completed 1500, 1505. That's what we discussed yesterday. Congratulations if you are a short. I'm looking to sell because of this upper shadow we've seen an hour ago. So I'm looking to sell on a retest of 1500 with tight stop just above. I wanna see this supply. It might be, I would prefer to see double top here, something similar to double top with the higher second top. That could be the case. So I'm watching carefully. And then very tiny stop above. No, I said 1500, 1505. Am I right? 1515. We were talking about this previous consolidation, and we were talking about, I put the line 50% of that consolidation. So no, I've been talking about 1500, 1505 yesterday, and it's recorded so we can easily check. I will check it after this morning meeting. But I'm pretty sure I've been talking about 50% of that consolidation yesterday. 1515, 1520, it was this towards 30, it was this yellow box which we didn't hit. And with this type of the move, yeah, 1 to 1, I'm pretty sure I've been talking about these levels yesterday, but it's recorded so it's easy to check. Anyway, looking to sell gold, but maybe closer to US Open. Okay, so we are waiting for the European PMI, and first one, that's gonna be Spain, as far as I remember. Yeah, Spanish services PMI. Within next few minutes, and so Swiss franc, euro. That's what I'm gonna to focus on, as well as DAX. we've seen strong moves to the downside lately on the indices. And on the DAX right now, right here, wait, we can remove. Yeah. That's the last consolidation. All right. So again, 50% of that consolidation, there is still some space for DAX to move a little bit lower, right? But I think attempt to bounce very possible from the intraday perspective. So that's what we are going because of this price action here. So going to watch very carefully from that perspective on the DAX index, right? Because it's that's the daily green, and we have to watch that one for now. Okay. So in case of, you know, any kind of the surprise, and we are talking about the services, and both here in Europe as well as in US, the expectations are, especially in US, quite high. In Europe, the expectations are still above 50, so that might produce some kind of the risk rally, right? So yeah, that's what we are going to. If we are going to see that DAX might be the solution for some ugly short squeeze, at least a little bit of the short squeeze. We are going to connect with Michał. When we are going to connect with Michał, we are going to discuss the macro situation, but let's wait for this Spanish number first. Or actually, we can wait with Michał for that number. So bear with me. I'm going to connect with Michał, and we are going to be together within the next few seconds. Good morning, Mr. Michał.
Good morning, Mr. Piotr.
Again, something wrong with your camera.
Jeez, camera or the voice?
Camera.
I don't know, maybe
it's like frozen again. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Still
doesn't matter.
Slow internet connection. Don't know why lately. Okay.
You know, you have to pay your bills, right?
Bills are paid. You wouldn't be able to connect with me unless
you may lose totally the connection. So you know.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe not
joking.
enough. I'm paying them not enough.
I'm joking. All right, let's wait for this Spanish PMI, and then let's see what you got for us. All right.
Okay.
Just a few seconds left, and euro is trying to recover.
Yeah, worse.
What's the number?
Worse 53.3. It's a half a point.
53.3.
Less than forecast.
Okay. So it's a little bit weaker. Just, you know, but it might be good for euro because market was probably was expecting a weaker number, but I think it's all about Germany.
Yeah.
Now I can see that you corrected the camera.
Yeah, I'm trying to do something meanwhile.
Now it was good. What happened now?
Okay, sorry. Ah, yeah,
Come on.
just
All
refreshed.
right, so we know where we are from the Spanish PMI perspective. So what you've got for us, Michał, today?
Okay, very briefly, we will talk about the trade fight, ongoing trade fight, which is on the background of another trade fight, but the EU and the Trump, because lately Trump received the approval for raising the tariffs on EU goods, especially on the aircraft, machinery from Germany, alcohol from the Ireland and Scotland and yeah, and other big number stuff which are exported to the US. And the deal is, it was because, of course, it's they maybe some quick explanation, because every country which is in the World Trade Organization needs to, before raising the tariffs, they need to feel the approval of the of that end at the World Trade Organization, and needs to have good reasons to do that. And the US were saying that the aircraft companies are receiving big subsidies from the governments, and that was the reason why they fill up those requests on the WTO. And lately they have the approval. So right now they will take effect on the 18th of October right now. So the another war is slowly beginning, but it will of course take effect on the machinery from Germany, but it's excluded on cars right now, which is the biggest market from the for the Germany, right? The biggest exporter of the cars to the US. So right now
that's where there was the biggest worry, right? About the
yes.
about the cars, yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, it looks like, the tariffs are 10-20% will be the hike will be amount of the 10 or 20% depending on the product. But I think it will also be waiting on the future PMI readings, because it will take effect on the future of the new orders, right?
Yeah,
So
but we are
I
talking
think,
about the manufacturing, right?
yes, it will be the future readings will be worse, I guess.
So it's ugly right now. So if we are
Yeah,
going to get even worse,
how low we can go.
that's yeah. We can always go to zero, right? We
Or
can
even below, yeah,
or
when
even below.
the central
So
banks.
of course, that might have a negative impact on euro, no doubt about that. And again, guys, what I have to remind you, we are looking for, or I'm looking for, a little bit weaker dollar short term, but as I mentioned, from the long term perspective, as we are on the dollar basket, as we are above 95, dollar is good and fine in my opinion right now. Let me show you one thing, guys. One moment, just one moment. Where I have it. Yeah, I got it here. There you go. Let me show you dollar index. That's the dollar index, and what I'm talking about right now, for example, is this double top, swing high, rejection. I'm not expecting huge sell-off, right? It's not what I'm for now. I think that 98.50 and 98, that's the first level of possible demand. And overall, if we are going to see weaker dollar, I still believe that this 95.50 as well as 95 over here, as long as we are above these levels, bulls are fine, right, in the medium and long term. So when we are talking about the possible euro dollar longs or Swiss USD Swiss franc shorts, stuff like this, it's only from the intraday perspective, and I've been trying to explain that. So let's get back to the chart. And yeah, that's why I've mentioned yesterday that the euro dollar, even if we are going to trade this possible inverted head and shoulder, then even trying to fulfill the target, it's gonna be something around 110, and that's the max. I think that 1025. So we might eventually look for some stops, rejection, and then renewal pressure on euro. That's what I'm looking for right here, right now. Of course, the PMI in Europe are very, very, very important, but we shouldn't forget ISM non-manufacturing later today, 55 or around 55 expectations, and then non-farm payrolls tomorrow, and of course both we are going to cover live. Michał, back to you. Anything would you like to add?
Yeah, just a couple of words about the UK, because lately we were receiving the information that the Boris Johnson and they're trying to maintain this solution for the Brexit. And I think yesterday we were talking about that the new solution that Boris Johnson was providing to the EU for the Northern Ireland to have like the special economic zone, and to follow the EU regulations, and after reaching the 2025 year, they will decide or to still maintain in the EU zone, trade zone, and the EU law, or to follow the UK rules. But it was looking good, and comments from the Barnier EU official according to the Brexit staff, was saying that we are seeing that the progress is made, that there are goodwill to make a good deal, and of course the Jean-Claude Juncker also provided some good comments, but the other analysts are saying that it doesn't change a thing, because in the details it looks like that there will be no stiff border, like on the border, no checks, no posts made on the border, but near the border, so it doesn't make any difference. So they are also saying that the goods will be checked on the other parts of the supply chain when they will be traded, shipped to Northern Ireland and from Northern Ireland. So I think it's still far from something, some big changes, big breakthrough stuff.
Yeah, but Johnson was calling that idea as a milestone with this negotiations, but maybe different EU officials, not the Barnier, said that that's what I found yesterday. Checking the news services, that it's far from the milestone. So it's still like the ping pong game. So
that's right. And we see, I will just add quickly that about the today readings, it's I think that everybody heard about the the Thomas Cook situation, the travel agency. So I think that the services in UK are dealing pretty bad lately. So it will of course affect today's reading. Maybe I don't think we will have like a very bad reading from the 50.3, but I think it will be at least agreed with the forecast. So that's my verdict for today.
In case of the number below, we got construction PMI out of the UK yesterday, and it was ugly. But for UK, that's what I'm always saying. for UK, the services.
All about services.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
about services. If we are going to get below, it might affect pound badly. So when we are talking about the UK PMI, let's have a look what we have on this pound lately. Totally, they cannot decide which way they want to go. We are bouncing between the Monday high. We were trying to broke Monday low, and still we are within the weekly open. And yeah, we can see that this we can draw some kind of the triangle here, and especially that we are approaching fast end of that triangle. I think that we are very close to the resolution. What I would like to see, first the fake. I don't care about direction, but I want to see the fake here, either to the upside with the rejection moving back under the line. That would be or could be short setup, or first attempt to break lower with long lower shadow closing above this line, and that could provide a buying opportunity. Of course, if we are going to see one-way ticket, I mean break and continuation, that's gonna be a little bit of the challenge to try to join that party, but that's what we are going to watch during the second part of our meeting, when we are going to cover UK PMI services, but we are still focusing on this European one. Euro is fighting with dollar. Euro is fighting around the weekly open and Monday high. That's what we discussed, but still based on the size of the possible correction, I would rather see a little bit lower levels down towards 935, 930. Michał, thank you very much for your inputs.
Thank you also.
Have a great London session. Are you going to join us this afternoon?
No, this afternoon I will be.
Alone.
No, yes, I will leave you guys alone. Won't bother you with my So.
All right. Thank you very much. So have a great day.
Yeah.
And see
Same to you
soon.
guys.
Thank you. Take care.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Take care. Bye.
All right. So what I'm gonna to do right now, right here, we know where we are from the Swiss franc perspective. How to do that? So for sure we are going to focus on euro dollar. I think that we might try to focus on dollar Swiss franc. Ahead of this German and the total EU numbers, and I think it's going to be good to have euro pound in place as well. Okay, so that's what we have here. Yeah, the Swiss is weak lately, but it's approaching possible supply based on what we've seen. Here. So we are hitting this supply. Okay. Of course, 110 psychological level is the key here, and euro pound. We have to start with the daily. That's where the problem is for the bulls. And that's where the possible demands are. And we are going to add weekly open. So from that perspective, the good thing for the bulls, for the buyers, that we are trying to hold above the weekly open, but we are fighting with the possible supply here, right? So that's how it looks, at least for now. So we ready and well prepared for the German number, and because the important things probably are going to happen after 9:45. So I suggest right now short break. It's a time to prepare coffee, tea, as the fireworks will come soon, hopefully. So the charts are staying with us. I'm gonna mute my microphone for a few minutes. I'll be back ahead of the numbers. So we have a little bit better Italian services PMI, but euro is pulling back. Yeah, I think we are going to retest the levels I've mentioned before, and that's where we are going to get the resolution probably. 935, 930 could be the key. Market may also trying to pull back because of the worry about the German one. But first is the French one within the next 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds. In the meantime, dollar Swiss franc is retesting the parity. MHB was talking about some fib on gold. Let's have a look. And been talking about the rally from 1,400. Okay, so this fib most probably, and 61.8 bounce against the head and shoulders from daily. So both sides got the argument. I like this upper shadow on the intraday chart here, but I would prefer the double top, but it might be that it's this whole situation here, right? So that's what we already had. That could be the case for gold as well. And we have the French one, weaker. Market is not doing anything right here, right now. Waiting mood. I think it's worth to remember about this Brexit proposal statement by Johnson around 10:30 GMT. Jeez, nothing is going on. Maybe chart is frozen. Anyway, 1 minute to go. Let's have a look what we are going to get out of the Germany. Of course, in that case, PMI manufacturing is much more important, which was ugly. But you know, to get a little bit of the relief, we have to get good services. 52.5. It's what market is expecting. Looks like someone knows something with this spike. And it's much weaker. So, well, that's not gonna help with the sentiment. But fun thing is that we might see why DAX is not moving on my chart. Because it's Thursday and Germans are on holiday. Am I right? Yes, bank holiday in Germany. Am I right? Or no? German bank holiday, I forgot about it. So we can switch to the DJ. So it's not good from the German perspective. So even services are going lower. That might change the whole picture a bit, but let's have a look how euro is going to react within this latest weakness zone. 935, 930. Of course, euro weakness providing the dollar Swiss franc higher, but at least for now I'm still short with this half, right? I survived again, but the question is if I'm gonna be lucky enough like yesterday with this pullback to try to grab some profits. We'll see. And from the hourly chart perspective, doesn't look good with this upper shadow right here right now, going back below Monday high. But that's helping the bears on Euro Swiss franc right under 110. At the top of this channel we have here. Pound is weakening as well, and here is a for pound, the PMI services is a key. That's what I've mentioned before. That's how I see the things. And to be honest with you, a little bit of the speculation, trade the news. If we are going to get this type of the close around the weekly open, I'm gonna to place sell stop order. I'm gonna try to trade 2R between the entry and the stop, and 2R, the entry is going to be like 41, the stop is going to be one above the high, so it's gonna be 12 pips stop, so I'm going to trade 24. Of course I do understand the risk related to this demand zone eventually. That's the 12 pips, so maybe 1 to 1. I'm going to check that one. Unless we are going to get the close above Monday high, right? If we are going to get the close above 48, I'm gonna to skip the idea of the selling. It's going to be a little bit more than 12 pips. Trying to hold this weekly open right now with this lower shadow, that might help. So of course, if we are before the open, if we are going to retest the high, also going to skip that trade. So I'm moving the sell right under the lower shadow. Now, of course, the question is what's the market expectations? I mean, not what we have in the calendar, but right here, right now, based on those guys who can move the market, what's the expectations towards the pound? Because euro, even with this weak number, might be supported by, for example, we move higher in euro pound, right? And the final PMI services in Europe, 51.6 versus 52 expectations, so overall weak. I mean, I think Europe is already some kind of this recession. The thing that we are still looks not that bad on the indices, in my opinion, is the thing that US was doing well till we get the latest ISM manufacturing. So you know, to be in a full-blown recession, we need US to join the party. Otherwise, all those manipulations, central bank manipulations, can help. But I think that we are going to be there either right before US election or right after. So there is still time that, you know, it's gonna be like all those central bankers are going to tell us about the QE and stuff like this. So trying to rescue the market, not the real economy. And then somewhere around the US election. I might be totally wrong, but that's how I see the things. Or very quick recession right now for 3 to 6 months to have a time for President Trump to rescue the America and then to get the chance to win the election. That could be also, but that would be very, very fast. It's all political game. And I agree with MHB that this time it might be even heavier than what we've seen in 2008, when there was a real tsunami. So we can have this time like triple what we had the last time. And the central banks are trapped. The most, you know, the Trump can complain about the Powell and the FOMC, Fed. No one cares, but I think it was the Fed did the smartest move because right now, right here, lowering the rates and staying above zero still can help the market, right? So in my opinion, that's my private opinion, right? Everyone should do own research, but it was one of the smartest moves done by Fed lately. There was some kind of the wrong communication around 2016. I think market was expecting the higher rates back then. The Monday high should provide some supply right now, especially that we got too early close below. If I'm not gonna be filled within the next few minutes on euro dollar, because the idea is that based on the weak reading, putting all together with the PMI manufacturing in EU, and there's some spike to the downside. But if I'm not gonna be filled within the next few minutes, simply I'm going to cancel the order, and I'm going to wait for the pound one, right? And in that case, we can slowly switch from the euro Swiss franc. So we are going to put dollar Swiss franc back here, and we can switch to the cable slowly. So we are going to watch, we are going to watch cable, and we are going to watch euro pound. We have 21 minutes, 22. Geez, post PMI 10 minutes, and the range is 5-6 pips with really weak number, especially in Germany. So yeah, at least they are not breaking down right now. So here we might have the pound influence as well. So I don't want to participate right here, right now. There was no break to the downside. So yeah, I'm going to wait for later PPI as well as retail sales after our meeting, because what we are waiting for right now is PMI services out of the UK. I'm going to see if there is a trade the news opportunity. If yes, then we are going to trade. If not, we are going to prepare ourselves for next afternoon meeting where we are going to cover US PMI and ISM. Okay, so yeah, we have to wait for the UK one, and that's it. I mentioned about that yesterday that on the pound, pound is walking his own walk without the any direction right now. Stops to the upside, stops to the downside. The downside is held based on this range created, based on the range created at the end of the August. All right, and we are below this breakout candle, so we are below the low from the 13th of September, and we are bouncing in between those levels. So as discussed from the intraday perspective, let's have a look what we are going to get, what's gonna be the how we are going to resolve this triangle. I would like to see attempt for, I would like to see some kind of the fake, either to the upside with rejection, or first to the downside and resolve to the upside. So that's what I'm waiting for. That's the base case for me. But of course, in case of the move higher and holding some certain levels, I'm going to try to buy on the pullback, as well as with the breakdown and holding below some certain levels, we are going to look for continuation to the downside. This 15-minute charts, it might be that market may want to find some Tokyo stops, right? That could be the case here, trying to find the Tokyo stops. Well, we'll see. And from here a little bit lower. I do think that and agree, and we were discussing with Michał, agree with MHB. We might see lower, but you know, something like 48.5, 48, that could be something that might push pound lower. But then we have this Johnson Brexit speech, so it might go higher. So yeah, we will see. 5 minutes to go, guys, with the pound. So we found the algo. The only question is if it's going to work that way. It's working for the last 24 hours. So hopefully it's going to work that way today. So a little bit of the spike to the upside would be good. I may try to place what I'm afraid of, that it might be, in case of the weaker number, we might see the gap down, so filling orders at the first available price. So I would like to avoid the gap down. We'll see. To be filled worse than what I wanna be filled at. Two minutes to go. In the meantime, euro is testing 960. And dollar Swiss franc at parity again. That's the good news. Minute to go. The candle doesn't look good, especially that it's a rejection at the very important level, as well as the size of the previous pound moves. Looks like someone knows better. There is no gap down, but right now market is going lower. It's a 49.5, well, just below, shy below. I've been talking about 48.5. We have 49.5. It's weak, but you know, with all this Brexit expectations, let's call it that way, I'm not gonna be surprised to see some kind of the spike. But let's have a look what we have, and if we can, if and how can we eventually try to trade it. So let's have a good look if we can get the 23 retest. So the pre-data levels. $23.03.04. Ay. Come on guys, let's retest 23.03.04. There is some kind of the demand around the weekly open. You know, after such a candle, I would be careful because of what we've seen here and here, right? Here was a little bit lower, but with V reaction. Ideally, weekly open, some algos are buying right now. Ay. Why they are not trying to make some rallies? And again, guys, that's gonna be only trade the news. So yeah, if I'm going to see the rally towards 23.05, stop above the most recent hype, let's say above 11, and what I'm gonna to target, my first target is gonna be related to the size of this move, right? So first target is gonna be like 2280, and then stops below the intraday low. Don't forget that we are moving inside this triangle here, right? So yeah, below today's low, maybe retest of Monday low. And of course, what is the risk for that trade is of course any kind of the rumor, positive rumor, Brexit related. So then it's quick jump on the pound and I might be stop out. So that's the risk. You have to, when you are trying to trade, you always have to understand what's your risk, right? That's why I'm always saying that I want to be as short as possible on the market to try to avoid this situation, especially when we know that the market, we have like political market right now, right? The politicians are creating the market by those comments. Very tiny exposure. And the second around 04, so very tiny exposure.